Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Hawaiian TV, specifically Cubase for composers. Today I will tell you about the fundamental tools in Cubase. Let's go. Alrighty, so let's see what we're gonna do now. So as you can see, I have already two tracks here, and I know I have a MIDI track because of this keyboard track here, and I know I have an audio because of, well, the shape of the audio and the waveform display here. All right, so the tools we're gonna talk about are these guys up here. The first one is quite simple, and it just enables you to move stuff around, and also you can select things by clicking and dragging and letting go. But then the fun thing comes when you click on this. So if I click on it, and you might ask, how do I know that there are multiple more options here? And that is because you have this little tiny arrow here, which is Cubase's way of telling us that, hey, I have multiple options here. So I'm gonna click here, and as you can see, this one was normal sizing. And let me first show you what normal sizing is. This is just normal sizing. If you change the size, it just cuts away that part of the clip. But then, let me just Control Z here again, all right? Let me just do sizing move contents here, and you're gonna see that when I do the sizing, the content is also moving with it. So basically, it's just going back. And let me also do something else. I'm going to put this here so you see even better that if I use the sizing tool with the content move, as you can see, the clip is just being in the same spot, but then the content is moving within it. It's pretty handy for editing. And then we have the third option, which applies time stretch. And time stretching is basically pulling or pushing your audio file to fit it to longer period or shorter period of time. So now, for example, it's from bar 4 till bar 35. But now, if I apply this kind of time stretch, as you can see, it's now being stretched. Right? And also I can do this. And even shorter. And now let's hear it out. It's actually funny. But then I can also do this. So the fun thing is that the pitch is being kept the same while the duration is being lengthened or shortened. Okay, and also this tool can be pretty productive, not just for editing, but you can do a lot of cool stuff with it. And next one is range selection tool. And let's see, if I bring it down already, you can see the shape of the cursor has changed into a kind of like a typing cursor. And basically, if you click and drag, you can select part of your clip. And well, one thing, or actually two things that you can do is that you can just move it around. So this is the first thing, and I'm going to do Control C here. The other thing that you can do is that you can reduce or increase the volume of this specific moment. As you can see, and look how it's written that it's relative. And right now I can even select more parts. And by relative is that it means that it's changing it, comparing it to the volume that this clip has. And this is not changing the volume on your mixer. So if I just open my mixer, as you can see, it's on 0 here. Where is it? Oh yeah, this one. And if I move ahead, here, that is lower, it's still on 0, but your playback will be softer. And this is pretty handy for editing or writing, or for example, if you recorded a guitar and some part is a bit louder, and you just want to just apply a tiny bit of volume modification, you can use this tool to just bring it down. And then we have the pen tool, which is quite similar to this, but then it gives you a bit more versatility when you are using the modifications. And let's see, I'm going to click here, and as you can see, I've added a point there and a point here. And what I can do is that I can just simply modify my sound. Pretty handy. And also you can do it here or anywhere you want. And again, you have this option as well, right? It's pretty cool. But now the pen tool has another option as well, and that is for MIDI tracks. So if I have an instrument track here, as I told you before, if I go here and click, I can add an empty spot for my MIDI. So this is basically like, hey, I'm going to do something here and I'm going to add an empty page or empty staff or empty spot to put my notes. And then if I just go back to my sizing and I double click here, I can open up my MIDI roll. Or for example, I can go to my score editor to modify my scores. All right. And this is my score editor now. And I'm going to just close this for now. Okay. And then we have the erase tool, and it's just erases stuff and just bye-bye. And we have the scissor tool, which lets you cut in moments. And you can see I'm cutting stuff here. Let me zoom in here to show you something interesting. And let's go, yeah, okay. So as you can see, when I'm moving my mouse, I'm really moving it in a very constant state, okay? So I'm just moving it from left to right. But it's snapping to some moments, okay? And that is because this option is on. And it's got snap to zero crossing. And this is the moments that you want your cut to be. Otherwise, you get a click. And I'm not going to talk about the technical side of this, hopefully in another video. But now look, if I just move around, it's more smooth. So it's not getting stuck in certain spots. I'm going to turn it on again. You see, it jumps into different moments. And this is, again, as I told you, it's where you want your cut to be. So make sure that zero crossing, snap to zero crossing is always on when you're editing, or for example, if you know what you're doing and you want it not to be on, but usually just let it be on. And then we have our glue. It basically glues this stuff together, and that is for when you have a cutting here, and I'm going to just glue it. Easy. I click on the left side and it glues it to the right. Super nice and handy. Okay. And we have the mute tool, and you can see that I can just mute a part, or I can just mute a certain cut part. Let's see. Mute and mute. Super nice, right? Let's go. And also, if you want it to be unmuted, you can also just click on it again. And then you have this zoom thingy here, which you can zoom in on your moments. For example, just like this. All right, so now we have the comp tool. Comp tool, I will explain it in another video, so hopefully in the next one or the one after, because it's a bit complicated to tell it in this video. This one as well, but this one I'll just give you a tiny hint. This is for when you have film or you're scoring for a video or something, and this helps to match moments with the specific timing that you have in your score. And what it does is that it really modifies your timing. So for example, look, from this, from the beginning of my piece, my tempo is 120. But now if I put a spot here by clicking here, it says that here my moment is 120. But then if I grab this 21st bar here and I stretch it, you can see that this moment is going to slow down, right? Because this, I want this to be longer. So it says, hey, from here on out, my tempo is going to be 82 because we wanted this to be longer. And then, oh, sorry. And then here it goes back to the original tempo. And for this, I think it's enough for now because it can get a bit complicated. Then we have the line tool. And this is like the brother to the draw tool. Let's try, let's see. All right, and the only thing is that you cannot use this draw tool on this volume automation that you see. I mean, I'm going to call it automation because it's very similar. But as you can see, if I put it online, it doesn't really let me do anything, okay? Other than the pen itself, you can do stuff. But if I put it on here, it just goes away. And that is because this line tool here and the many variants that it had here only works with automation tracks. Let's open automation track to see what it is. I'm gonna show you, show automation here. Yeah, so this is an automation track, which is, this is actually going to modify your mixer. Now look, I just grabbed at some point, I clicked and you can see, now I'm gonna be able to just make a line here and it goes all the way there. And if I have my mixer open, I'm gonna put it on the side here for you. You can see that my mixer is moving and the sound is also coming down. And if it goes here, it just jumps back up. And these guys are all the same. So for example, if you want to make a sign, you can just click here and make a sign here. So it's pretty interesting. And this is not just for automation for the volume. You can use this automation on any automation that you have in Cubase. So VSTs or effects or whatever you have. Hopefully we'll get there. And the next tool is the play tool, which is also really handy. It works for situations where you just want to hear that specific slice in time without, bringing back your audio, the playhead. So you just click and then you hear. It's pretty handy. All right, and then you have the scrub here. So if I click on it and hold it, you have the scrub, and it's basically just a scrub tool. And what I'm doing is just holding and going back and forth. This can be handy when you are editing or finding like little weird sounds in your music. This, you can slow it down and really find where exactly the issue is. And the next one is the ability to color your tracks or events. Basically, let's see. I'm just going to select this, and in the color palette, I'll just select what I want. As you can see, it's already changed here, and so on and so on. I can just change the color of whatever I want, but you can also change the color of your tracks as well if you want. And that is with this. You have to first select your object selection, go to your track and make sure nothing is selected here. Whoop, I double clicked here. So nothing is selected. Click on your track and then, and then just change the color. As you can see, the color is changing. Otherwise, it will change the color of that clip. So, see? Changing stuff. And the last thing before we finish this video is that all of these have shortcuts and you can cycle through the different modes with shortcuts. So for example, if I click on one here, you can see it's rotating in different modes that I have here. And it will be really handy if you learn it, because then you don't have to just continuously go back up there. And that was it for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And hopefully in the next video, we're going to go a little bit further with MIDI input and notation. And till next time, Homayun out. Bye.